Hi, welcome to my restorative class. We'll be focusing today on opening in the side bodies and a little bit of twisting. We'll be taking it really slow, holding the poses for longer, focusing on the breath and really just allowing our body to ease into the practice. Before we get started, you will need a couple props for this class. First off is a bolster. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can make do with 2 blocks and a blanket. For a makeshift bolster, what I like to do is take the 2 blocks, place one in front of the other, a little bit of space because you want your torso to be able to lie on top of it, and then placing a blanket over it. If you don't have blocks, then you can also use some thick pillows or a couple of blankets, and that will work as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and just lie down on your back. I'll meet you there. So once you're on your back, a couple options. The legs can either be extended straight out in front of you, or if you want to start to get into the hips, bringing the soles of the feet together and then butterflying the knees open. And if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana like I am, it may feel good to find a little added support, taking your blocks and placing one underneath either knee and thigh. So you can play around, find what feels good to you. And then for the arms, it can be resting down by the sides or placing one hand on the heart and the other hand on the belly. And just allow the eyes to close or the gaze to soften. Beginning to shift your attention away from the outside world and beginning to turn inward. And just allowing yourself to step away from the thinking mind. So any of those thoughts, plans, to-do lists, just allowing them to drift away, or imagine there is a basket and you just place them inside, leaving them there for the remainder of class. And if you need them later on, then you can simply pick them back up once we've finished. And just noticing the connection of the body to the ground. Notice the parts of your body that feel heaviest on the ground. Noticing the feeling of the clothes touching your skin. Maybe it feels soft or a little rougher. Noticing the temperature. Beginning to feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Noticing your state of mind, how you arrived on your mat. Noticing if that's the energy that you want to bring into your practice. I'll take a few rounds of breath. On the inhales, feeling the rise of the belly, ribs, chest. On the exhale, feel the fall of the chest, the ribs, the belly. So just finding this 3-part breath. Inhales, belly, ribs, chest. And exhales, chest, ribs, belly. Just a few more. In your mind, on the inhales, you can say belly, ribs, chest. On the exhales, chest, ribs, belly. Take your time when you're ready. If the knees are open, gently close them. You can place the blocks over to the side. Wherever you are, just hug the knees in towards the chest. Hands can interlace below the knees and just find a gentle rock side to side. Massage the lower back and spine. Maybe circle out the knees. We'll move into Bananasana. So start by extending the legs straight out in front of you. And then walking the legs over towards the right edge of your mat. And then take the arms overhead and walk the upper body over towards the right as well. So you're creating this banana shape in the body. If you want to deepen, take the left ankle, crossing it over the right. You can always place a blanket underneath the shoulders. And so we're finding a stretch along the left side of the body. So this is a lateral flexion of the spine, which is a side bend. So finding a stretch from the top of the rib cage, expanding in the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And then feeling a stretch down the outside of the left leg into the IT band. So by stretching the muscles along the ribs, helping to take fuller, deeper breaths, allowing for more expansion. And just finding that edge, that place of sensation, not too much, not too little. You may notice the longer we hold, the body may start to ease into it. Maybe you need to go a little deeper. Just maintaining that edge. but also listening to the body and when it asks to ease back. Honor what you need. And just slowly come back through center. You can hug the knees and give them a squeeze to rebalance. And then switching over to the other side, legs extend out. Walk the legs over towards the left. Maybe the right ankle comes on top of the left. Arms reach overhead, and then walking the upper body towards the left. And this time focusing on the right side body. Maybe starting to notice any differences between the two sides. Maybe one side is a little less open. But wherever you are, just finding that consistent, steady breath in and breath out. Maybe going a little deeper. And take your time slowly back to center. Once again, hug the knees in and just rock it out. Let it go. And then take your time, just rolling over to your favorite side. Pause there for a couple rounds of breath, and then gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. We'll meet in a seated position. So finding a comfortable seat, you can always elevate the hips with a blanket and grab a block. If you don't have one, you can use a pillow or something that just has some thickness to it. And start by extending the right leg out and then drawing the left foot in towards the right inner thigh. So this is half butterfly. You can always bring a blanket underneath the right knee if the hamstring feels tight. And then take your block and just place it to the inside of the right leg. You can always adjust the setting, just depending on how much of a stretch and intensity you want. So we're gonna add in a side body stretch. So just taking your right elbow and just start to release it down to the block. And then the head can rest in the hand. So just take a moment, find what works for you. Make any adjustments that you need. And the left hand can just be gently resting on the left thigh. Or it may feel good to drape the left arm overhead, bending at the elbow. But I prefer to keep the hand just resting on the thigh. And so you'll notice the stretch in the backside body of the left side. And just closing the eyes, allow yourself to settle in. And really just tuning in to what's going on in the body. And really just finding that sense of compassion, that sense of openness. A lot of times we start to bring in different judgments. Maybe there's a little frustration of what our bodies can't do for us. And really just giving yourself time and space to open. Using the breath, especially the exhales. And take your time, just slowly start to sit straight back up. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. Beautiful. When you're ready, just slowly switching to the other side. Extend the left leg out. And then drawing the right foot in towards the inner thigh. Maybe a blanket underneath the left knee, or maybe under the knee that's bent. And then take your block, place it to the inside of the left leg. Find your setting. And when you're ready, allow yourself to draw the left elbow in and the head resting in the hand. So this time finding that stretch along the right side body, maybe feeling that opening in the back of the left leg, the left hamstring. So in these restorative poses, we hold them for longer, really allowing it to work into the fascia, the connective tissues. So actually allowing the muscles to relax. Notice where you start to bring tension into the body, maybe the shoulders or in the face. And just allow yourself to soften on every exhale. And take your time slowly, just start to ease back out. All right, and then just extend the legs. You can give them a little shake, let it go. Might feel good. I like to find windshield wipers, the knees bend, and just dropping them side to side a couple times. So the next pose we'll be moving into is a belly down twist, and this is where you'll use your bolster. And just remember, if you don't have a bolster, you can either stack some blankets, or if you have two blocks, one in front of the other, and then stacking the blanket on top. So when you're ready, just taking your bolster or your makeshift bolster and just placing it right in front of you. And we'll start by bringing the left hip to the bottom of your bolster. It doesn't have to be perfectly against it. And then the knees are bent. Now for a little bit more intensity, you'll draw the top knee a little further back. But you can always play around and see what feels good to you. And then you're going to turn towards your bolster. So the torso, your front side of the body, is facing the bolster. And then slowly start to lower down. So one hand is on either side of the bolster. And just start by bringing the left ear to the bolster. Now, if you need more intensity, draw the right ear. I find that that's a little bit much, so I just like to start with the left ear on the bolster. And just make sure that if you're using some blankets, your head is supported and not dropping off the end. And just allowing yourself to soften into it. So we're finding a twist in the body, massaging the internal organs. And just allow yourself to really feel supported and held by the ground beneath you. Maybe you notice your heartbeat. Maybe you feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly against the bolster. So especially in these moments where things may feel a little up in the air, some uncertainty, just taking time to ground down and find that sense of support. And taking your time, just slowly start to press it back up, just nice and slow, and we're just gonna switch sides. So this time, have the right hip against the bolster, knees are bent, and the top knee can stay close together, or you can draw the top knee further away from the body for more intensity. And then turn towards the bolster once again, one hand on either side. You're finding that nice twist, and then start to lower down. You can start with the right ear on the bolster. And just allow yourself to settle back in, finding wherever you left off on the other side. And just notice, can you allow yourself to open up to that support? Can you give yourself permission to be held? Or is there some resistance? If there is, can you breathe into it? And take your time, slowly begin to press back up. You can just move your bolster over towards the side and just find a little movement, maybe dropping the knees side to side a couple times, windshield wiper it out. We'll be on our backs for the rest of class, so just take your time and meet me on your back. So meeting me on your back, bring the feet to the ground, and we're going to come into supine figure 4. Take the right ankle on the left thigh, flexing the foot, pressing the knee forward. You can stay here, start to draw the left thigh up, and then taking the hands, interlace them behind the left thigh. And just remember, if you felt enough sensation with the left foot on the ground, just staying there. So this is really about your body, your practice, and what it looks like in this moment. So letting go of what you're able to do last week or 6 months ago or 6 years ago. And just be right here. What do you need? Where is there tension? And where can you soften? Really breathing into the outer right hip and glute. And gently release. We'll switch it out. Left ankle to right thigh. Left knee pressing forward. Just match your layer to the other side. This time, sending the breath towards the outer left hip and glute. Just allowing yourself to be in the stillness, the quiet. And when those thoughts start to arise and swirl around, just gently reminding yourself that you're thinking without judgment, without criticism, and then redirecting back to the breath, back to the here and now. And gently unwind. Draw the knees in, give them a little squeeze, and just gently rock it out. We'll be coming into an easy twist. So taking the knees over towards the left, scoot the hips towards the right, maybe placing a block in between the knees or a blanket. If you want more intensity, cross the right thigh up and over the left. And then arms can cactus out or allow them to extend straight out like a T shape. Shoulders stay heavy. And just releasing in the lower back, wringing out the body. And then slowly unwind. Come back to center, hug the knees, give them a squeeze to rebalance. And then switching over to the other side, knees drop towards the right. Maybe a block or a blanket in between the knees or underneath them. Or to deepen, if you added on, left thigh crosses over the right for more intensity. And then take your time, start to unwind. Once again, hug the knees in, give them one last squeeze. We'll take a breath in. And on the exhale, final Shavasana. You can always place a blanket rolled up underneath the knees or a bolster and just take up space, get heavy. Just allowing the benefits of your practice to sink in. Giving yourself these last moments of quiet, of stillness, of peace in the mind. Really taking this time to refill your own cup. We'll be here for a little bit longer. I'll guide you out when it's time. Start to deepen your breath. And bring movement gently back into the body. Reaching the arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. And when you're ready, gently rolling over to one side, pausing there. And then gently pressing up to a comfortable seat. Finding your way into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Eyes closed, soft gaze. The hands draw into heart center. And just reconnecting to that sense of quiet, that sense of peace in the mind. Just seeing if we can bring it into the rest of our day, the rest of our week. On our next inhale, breathe it in. And exhale, send it out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on the mat again soon.